my rants and reactions. That's right, my friends. It's time to talk about all of the latest nonsense and haps on the craps in the world of sports and sports gambling and beyond. Now, first thing I want to discuss, shout out to Chris Paul. He was appointed to the Federal Advisory Board for Historical Black Colleges and Universities. That is the President's Advisory Board, so absolutely huge for Chris Paul. Shout out. If you know me in any capacity, you know this show in any capacity, you know HBCUs hold a special place in my heart. I talk about them all the time. I love cashing tickets with them. They're an absolute blast and a half. I love the history behind them, and that is super, super cool. Just came out, Chris Paul appointed to that advisory board for those HBCUs. So wanted to shout out Chris Paul. Definitely been a legend in the sport for a long, long, long time, and he just continues to solidify himself in that spot. Speaking of a legend, both on and off the hardwood, but last night it was on the hardwood. That's our guy, DeMar DeRozan, dropped 50, a 50-piece on the head of the Lakers and helped the Bulls come all the way back, scratch claw, and win outright in overtime. It was an absolute sweat and a half. I hope you watched it. I hope you were tuned in because it was an absolute nuclear power plant of a game. Down at halftime, down in the third quarter, scratch, claw, scrape, all the way back, tied 118, going into overtime. I do believe it was, and it was an absolute electric factory. So if you missed it, you missed out, but shout out to DeMar DeRozan dropping a 50 burger on the dome pieces of the LA Clippers last night. Speaking of dropping a 50 burger, how about this for some segues? I'm not even trying to do this, son of a bitch. Speaking of a 50 burger, we got to talk about Austin Matthews. Take off the jerseys, take off the Jordans, lace up the skates, and throw on the sweaters, because we got to talk about the legend that calls himself a Toronto Maple Leaf. Austin Matthews scored his 50th goal of the 2022 season last night. That is his first 50th goal or 50 goal season, the first 50 goal season he's ever had, and he is the first player to 50 goals this season. So set two records. Austin Matthews absolutely crushing it. He only continues to get better. Obviously, he was an absolute dog last year, but he is like a fine wine, man. He just gets better with age. I tell you what. And speaking of fine wine getting better with age, former Seattle Sea Squawk linebacker Bobby Wagner finds his way into beautiful LA SoFi Stadium. Los Angeles Rams pick up Bobby Wagner, 5-year, $50 million contract. Not sure how much that is guaranteed. However, absolutely legendary deal. Stays on the West Coast, gets out of the Pacific shit and into the sunshine. I'm sure Bobby is absolutely hyped. He saw what happened last year with all the guys that went over there. Am I telling you that the Rams are going to repeat? Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. But them being plus 1,000 on next year's Super Bowl odds to win it outright, right around where I caught him last year. So something to kind of think about there. Either way, shout out to the Rams getting a quality player. 5 years. I would imagine there's probably be opt-outs after three. I would say probably opt-outs after 3. But either way, 5 years, $50 million. Again, not sure what it's guaranteed. Bobby Wagner heads to L.A. and SoFi Stadium play for the Rams. Sticking with the NFL. It's always obviously this day, but it comes around obviously once a year, and you always got to remember the late, great Sean Taylor. Would have been his 39th birthday today. We love you, Sean. We miss you, man. And it just, even to go back, like every time it's his birthday, I go back and watch some of the highlights and some of the stuff, and just like, man, oh man, oh man, oh man. And there's not even words that I could put into to say what kind of a person he was, what type of a player he was. I mean, obviously everybody talks about him still, and that just speaks to the fact of who he was. So only would have been 39 years old today, but shout out Sean Taylor. We miss you, man. We love you, dude, too. And we appreciate you sending your good vibes into the league still nowadays. Speaking of legends, is Tiger Woods playing in the Masters, my friends? I have no idea, but everything you can read on Twitter says, breaking, we've been hearing per sources, Tiger's coming back, Tiger's ready to rock and roll, take some cuts at Augusta. I don't know. I have no clue. I can't tell you what's happening. I'm not a PGA Tour pro, but what I do know is that I know how to read. And a lot of guys that I respect in the industry are saying, yeah, this is like a 80, 90% chance. This isn't like, the Twitter sphere's bubbling some shit to the surface, wanting to cause some nonsense, or maybe some bot put some shit out for just to get more stuff going about the Augusta and the Masters. Like, this is the real deal Holyfield, and I think we could see Tiger make his return here at Augusta, but that's next week. We got to get through the Texas Valero Open first. I will probably... Nah, fuck it. I won't probably. I'll have some plays for you, Masters wise. I'll see what's up. I'll dive into some stuff. Everything all in between. So yeah, there you go. There you have it. That's kind of all the late breaking from over the night into today. I'm trying to see if you guys got any comments, any questions. And you're on Twitter. I can't see. I didn't mention that. I can't see the comments on Twitter. I don't know why Periscope doesn't directly relay it into StreamYard, but they don't. So if you want to comment, you want to go back and forth, you got something, you got a question during these times, this is the time to do it, man. It's an open floor. I love to connect with you guys. Hop on YouTube, hop on Facebook, jump in the chat. I'll be more than happy to connect with you guys live here on the show and answer some questions. So feel free to do that. Taking a look. Oh, wow. Holy shit. Oh, wow. Hideki Matsuyama, speaking of PGA, has withdrawn from the Valero Texas Open with a neck injury. So anybody with those Hideki Matsuyama tickets, go ahead and get your kerosene and matches out. Go ahead and throw them in the can in the backyard, because them boys are dunzo. Outside of that, let's see. Oh shit, that was late breaking too. That was just this morning. MLB announces that umpires, much like the NFL now, when they go into a review, it will not just be, it's going to be a full, we keep our shit on, we have our mic that comes down, we go out in front of the crowd, and we say, after further review, it has been determined that XYZ is the reason that ABC is the determination, therefore, home run. That is going to be a new thing. It is not an April Fool's joke. That is super sick. I cannot wait to see how that works out, how that shakes out, because it puts accountability on the blue, man. It's what it does. It puts accountability on him. Point blank, period. I mean, you can very easily hear something from New York, turn around, wing your finger in a circle a couple times, and then go back behind the plate and continue making shit-ass calls. Like, I think it brings more accountability to the sport, and I love it. Hey, the next thing you need is fucking robot umps. Just take them all the way out of there, and then we ain't got to have any issues whatsoever. But I obviously don't think that should happen. That's obviously always a joke. I think it would completely take away from the game if you didn't have umpires. Like, if I couldn't dig my cleats in some sand and grip the bat a couple times and, Blue, how you doing, sir? Just first time I get in the box, like, I don't care what color you're wearing. I'm still looking over, Blue, how you doing, sir? Like, regardless, like, that just, if I can't do that, what am I say that to some robot? And there's some AI robots going to say, maybe so, I guess so, who knows? The metaverse is coming right around the corner, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's happening. But they will be having for reviews. If there is any review stuff, there's going to be like an official, hey, I'm on the mic, here's the reason why, just like the NFL does it after further review, yada yada, the whole rules. You know it, you've seen it with the NFL, so now they're bringing that to the MLB. That was part of the new CBA, so can't wait to see that. We'll see what happens there. Outside of that, unless you guys didn't have anything else, let's see. Merrill Kelly stays with the D-backs, 2-year, $18 million extension. He is definitely a F5 play waiting for you to cash. First 5 inning, plus a half for the Diamondbacks when he's on the bump. Faux show. Anything else? Let's see here. No, I don't see anything. Yeah, I had to scroll all the way down a couple times, and I don't see anything late breaking or major, and I typically get it right into the old feed there. So, nothing I can tell you right now. As far as it goes, my friends, that does it. All of my rants and reactions.